your dreams.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero video, and today I'm just going to be comparing and contrasting the two upcoming S-rank characters coming to ZZZ, Caesar and Burnice. That way you, the viewer, can decide whether you want to pull for Caesar or Burnice. By the way, if you haven't liked the content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. But basically, a quick TLDR is if you want to pull a character with more utility, you pull for Caesar, and if you're just looking for a DPS character, just pull for Burnice. Now first, I'm going to talk about Caesar in a little bit more in depth. Caesar is basically, as I said before, a utility character. She is an S-rank defending character. Defenders in Zenless Zone Zero is basically an alternative to stunners, and anomaly characters are basically an alternative to attacking characters. Caesar can also stun enemies pretty well. The best way to describe Caesar is that she's basically going to be the Zhongli of Zenless Zone Zero. If you don't know who Zhongli is, it's a character from Genshin Impact that basically trivializes a lot of the content in the game because of his shield. Caesar most likely will be the exact same way. You basically hit Caesar's X special, your characters get a shield, they get protected from attacks, prevents your characters from dying. Also, any characters that are under her shield will also have a damage increase, which is pretty good. So Caesar is going to be really good, especially for mobile players that are struggling to dodge or parry, or for anybody that's just strictly very terrible at dodging or parrying. I think Caesar will be a pretty good pickup since she basically trivializes all that shit. Her W engine basically does the same thing. Whenever your characters or Caesar herself is getting attacked by enemies, when a shield is up, it'll basically increase your team's damage. It'll also increase their daze percentage, which basically means that you'll be able to stun the enemies more quickly. Other W engines for Caesar Salis could also be Original Transformer, which basically gives her more HP and more impact. Spring Embrace will lessen the damage that you take and will also provide you more energy. There's also Seth's upcoming weapon, which is called the Peacekeeper, which basically boosts your energy if you have a shield up, and will also build up your anomaly. Caesar can basically be useful on any team. Since she provides a shield, she basically prevents your team from dying, and nobody likes dying, so I think Caesar will be a pretty good pickup. What more can I really say about Caesar, right? She defends, she protects, that's basically all she does. Now, as for the next character in Zenless Zone Zero, we got Burnice. Burnice is basically a S-rank anomaly character that is a DPS that can be off field. It basically uses Burnice's X special, and she'll basically trigger a switch in, and you basically switch Burnice out with another character. When the character that comes in deals damage to an enemy, Burnice will deal a fire coordinated attack to that enemy. That's basically all what Burnice does. She's basically pretty similar to Jué Qū Líng from Genshin Impact. Jué Qū Líng basically does the same thing. She deals fire damage off field, and she's just very fucking good and consistent of it. Burnice also has a fire buildup and will also extend the duration of burn. So not only is Burnice dealing damage off field, she's also dealing some pretty decent amount of damage over time as well. I do think Burnice will be pretty good on teams that don't really deal any significant damage. For example, any Soldier 11 team, because Soldier 11 isn't really that good. She can also be pretty good with any 4-star DPS characters, since 4-star DPS characters are really not, you know, that good compared to the 5-star ones. Overall, I think Burnice will work well with characters that deal underwhelming damage. Not to say that she can't work with overwhelming characters. I think she'll be pretty good with Jane Doe, since Jane Doe does need another anomaly character. Not to mention Jane Doe will come with Seth. Jane Doe and Seth, that's two characters right there. You can add Burnice for even more of a flair to the team. So if you are pulling for Jane Doe, maybe you should consider pulling for Burnice as well, since, you know, they're both anomalies. They can work pretty well together. Burnice's W engine will basically increase her energy when she's off field, and when her X special hits an enemy, it'll basically increase her damage, so it's very good for Burnice. Other W engine options are Roaring Tide, since it also gives her anomaly buildup, and the Rainforest Gourmet, which basically raises attack. We'll now briefly mention that the new sets that these two characters are coming out with, we're also getting new disc drive sets. For Caesar's disc drive set, basically whenever she triggers a defensive assist, the days of your party members will be increased, which is generally pretty good. More days basically means more chances to stun the enemy. Burnice's new set is basically catered to Burnice. It basically gives her more anomaly proficiency. It'll also increase fire damage. It'll also increase her damage overall if she is, guess what? off field. I am pretty excited for these new characters. I do want both of them, but I do think I have to make a choice between one or the other, and I think I'm going to choose Burnice. Burnice looks pretty cute, and not to mention she'll be sucking me off when she's off field. Anyways, two pretty good waifus. That's basically about it. Let me know what you guys think. Which characters are you guys going to be pulling for, Caesar or Burnice, or maybe even both? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys later.
Bye bye now. Come again soon.